Hi everyone, welcome back to Ellie Pop's Bespoke YouTube channel. Today I am going to be making a birthday bow and I'm going to be adding tulle to it. So I've got a roll of tulle here. Now, other things I'm going to need for this one is I've got my Rosy Lou templates, I've got some embellishments here. It's going to be a mermaid theme, so I've got some pearls, some pearl beads, some starfish, a little star. I've got the birthday number. I also need a hair clip, scissors, a pen. I've got some rhinestones and some fabric glue to stick them on with there. Some thread and my contrasting fabrics here. So this one is a translucent. One side is more reflective and sort of petrol coloured and the other side blue. Then we've got the royal blue glitter to go with the royal blue mermaid scale fabric, which I have there. So as I say, it's going to be a mermaid themed bow. So I'm going to get on with this today. And the main thing is to show you how I attach tulle to these types of bows. Okay, so what we're going to do first of all is I'm going to use this translucent blue fabric. And I have got my Rosy Lou template and I'm going to use the middle part, which is the biggest one, to draw around this template. Now this fabric, it's like a jelly fabric. One side is like a shiny, reflective material, and on the other side it just looks plain blue. Now for this particular bow, I just want it plain blue, sort of jelly water looking fabric. So it looks like this. I don't know if you can see that coming up on the video, but it looks like this on one side and quite shiny on the other. So I don't want the shine for this particular bow, so we're going to turn it over and use the other side, which is great about these fabrics. You can use them however you want to. So that's that one prepared. Now the next one is going to be this mermaid scale fabric, and that's going to be on top as the main feature. Now I want the scales to be going sideways, so we need to do it sideways on here. Now this is a black back. I am going to still use my biro. You probably won't be able to see where I've drawn around it on the video, but I can see it still when I look closely at it. You can get white fabric pens or pencils, which will help you on darker fabrics. But to my eye, I can still see that shape. So I'm going to use my biro. I'm just going to cut this section out. That's that one prepared. And then last but not least, I've got this blue, royal blue glitter, and I'm going to use the bottom of the bow in glitter. So just draw around the template there. So there's our 3 pieces. I'm just going to cut these out and we'll cut back when they're done. Okay, so here's all my bow pieces done. Now the top piece, I'm not going to do a full loop. I'm going to do a mermaid tail. So I have got a video on how to do this, but what I'm going to do is just cut the bottom of this tail. I've done it that many times I can do it by hand now, into a mermaid shape, and then when we fasten that together, it's going to be a little fish. Okay, so we've got our 3 parts there. I'm just going to glue this one down. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to glue this one together. Like I said, I don't know if this is showing up on camera, but this side is very a metallic. It kind of turns purple in the light. I don't know if it's showing up on the camera. And this side is just plain blue and doesn't have that shine to it. So I do want plain blue today. So I'm going to make that metallic side on the inside of the bow. So I'm just going to glue that down. Now it is sort of a jelly fabric, so you might find that your glue may not stick this, and if that's the case, try some Gorilla Glue gel. You will have to prepare this in advance if you do it that way, because you're going to have to clamp it together and make sure the Gorilla Glue gel has stuck. So you can kind of still see a reflection, but it's blue on that side, and that's how we want it. That's going to be stuck there, and that's going to be stuck on top like that. The idea of this bow is that the number 8 is sticking out of the side like this, and that we have some tulle sticking out on this side. So what I'm going to do is just stick these two parts together because they can be stuck together today. There's nothing going to be needed within those layers, so we'll stick those together to prepare them. And then this one we need to put some tulle on. So I've got this tulle. It's what I use to make the pom-pom bows. I'm using blue today obviously because we've got a blue mermaid. I think it's a 6-inch wide 100-yard roll of tulle. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold up a few layers in length. Now what I do is make it bigger than what I need, and we can always trim it down. So this is maybe a metre in length, just short of a metre, maybe 80 centimetres. And we're just going to fold it over. So we fold it in half, fold it in half again, and fold it in half again. Okay. Then what we're going to do is on one end, where all the folds are, we're just going to cut along those creases to open them up. So get your scissors inside the loops. Take your time. Doesn't matter if it's not neat because we can trim it up. And then just cut along those loops to open them up. So we don't have any loops, we've now got single pieces. And if I take my hand off this, you'll have lots of squares now. Okay, so keeping it folded like that, we're just going to do a concertina fold, where you're just pleating it basically. So it's like this. Make a little fan. Doesn't matter if there's any bits, we're going to trim that down. Okay, and then this is where you need your needle and thread. So you've just got a small bit of thread which is knotted at the end, and we're just going to push that through the tulle and tie it off in a knot. I've done it about 1 centimetre away from the end of the tulle because we're going to chop it down in a moment, and then just wrap that round to secure it. And tie it off. Try and wrap it as tightly as you can without snapping your thread, because we need to get this quite flat. Obviously the less layers of tulle that you use, the flatter it's going to be. So we need to flatten that out as flat as you can get it. See, this has come apart because the glue's not very strong, so I may need to just clamp it. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue on there again. I'm going to clamp it with the hair clip that we're going to be using. I'll just hold that in place for me for a minute. Okay, so back to the tool. We now have this fan of tulle. This is the end that's going to be glued to the bow, sort of down here. And this is obviously too long. So, gathering it all together in the concertina fold as best as you can. Doesn't have to be super neat, just gather it together. Hold it tight. And then trim as much off as you need. Better off doing a little bit at a time and then you don't go too short, but then it's a nice neat trim. Have a look and decide which side looks better. So that one looks the best. So that's going to go on there like that. Now when it's layered up, it'll look like this. And obviously you can see the tool sticking out there. So without going too close to the thread, fan this out as it would sit, and then I just trim those side bits off. As I say, don't go too close to the thread because you do want it to catch still. Trim those bits off and sit it on there. And just have a play around and just think, if you're going to put something around the centre of that, will it be covered? I think yes it will, so that's fine. So now what you need to do, very careful not to burn your fingers. You need to pop some glue on that centre part. Be quite generous with it because it's going to sink through the little holes in the tool, and we stick that. Oh, burnt my finger there, which I told you not to do. This is why you've got to be very careful. Your glue should be very hot for it to work. But yeah, stick that on there. Be very wary of where the glue is. Don't do what I just did and burn your fingers. Position it where you need it to be. So I want a little bit of the tail showing there. So that looks fine. Take off any excess glue once it's cooled a little. Now it doesn't dry immediately on the tool. It takes a little while. So you may want to put this down for a second and just let it dry before you carry on with the rest of it. So once it's cooled off and is dry, you want to just trim off any extra little bits that are going to stop you from putting the centre round neatly. So just be super careful, take your time, just trim off any little bits that are hanging off, and that should be fine. Now for the centre, I'm going to use the blue glitter from the bottom. That's just going to wrap around the whole bow. Now we do need to add some of these beads on as well. Now usually I would stick these inside this loop, but because they won't stick very well to that, I'm going to stick them to the base. So the idea with this is to pop this on the middle, and then we will have beads, and you're going to see them there, so I might not use them on that side. Might stick them quite close to that tool in the middle and have them hanging down over this side. Sort of like this, and we can stick it under the tool there. So roughly I need that amount. I got these from my local pound shop. I suppose you'd call that the Dollar Tree maybe in America. You can get them from anywhere, any craft shops. They were in a wedding section of my local pound shop. So I want them to go there, so I'm going to put some glue. And don't just stick one bead on, stick a couple on so that it's got a few to hold on to, and make sure the glue gets into the string in the middle because that's what's going to help secure it to the bow. Just put a bit of glue on top there to try and secure it in, and then I want them to go around here like this. So the way you position them is the way that they're going to hang. So make sure you position them the way that you want them to hang. Like that. That's going to be good. So I'll put some glue under there for them to stick to. Now this side should stick pretty well because the tool will stick to the glue as well. So I'm just going to push that tool down onto the glue. So next we are going to stick this bit on top. So I'm going to put some glue on here. I want it to stick quite well, so I'll put quite a bit on there. Make sure everything's straight and in line. And then I'm just going to use the clip that we're going to use for the center, for the back, sorry, just to hold it in place while it dries. So this is going to be quite a thick bow, but that's the way it's intended, so don't be scared about that. Now you can see I've just pinched that tool in because it was getting quite wide, and while there's glue underneath, that will hold it in shape better. So don't be scared to play around with it, however you want it to sit. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we need to glue this number 8 on there. So it's going to go in that layer there. So it's sort of half of this. Try and measure it by eye how it's going to go, and you can either put the glue on the felty or in between the layers. And then stick it where your preference is. Now because the glue tends to come off of the shiny layer, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the edge of the felty there, so that the mermaid tail layer grips it as well, and it just keeps it a little bit extra secure. Okay, and these felties as well, these plain numbers, they're perfect because they look like mermaid scales on them. They're just a checkered pattern. See if I can show you that a little bit closer up. These are from Emma Jo Felties. I'll put the link to hers in her shop in the description. All the other felties that I use on my bows come from her as well. So you can get these from Emma Jo Felties. She will do them in any colour you like. So the next bit we are going to embellish with these extra little bits that I've got. So I've got pearl beads, I've got starfish, I've got rhinestones. So we're gonna put some of these on. This is just a little rhinestone picker. You can get these from eBay. I've got some fabric glue. This one's called Trim It Glue by High Tack. And then these rhinestones are crystal elements, Chaton Rose, non-hot fix, an SS12 in size. These are quite small ones. I need a couple of those. And then I have these ones, which are, I'm not sure what size these, SS20. So these are slightly bigger. We only need a few of those. So I use fabric glue for this because it's less messier, it's more precise, and it does stick them quite well. So I want to put a little star on there. I'm going to put it just underneath that layer there. So just on the bottom end of that star, put some glue. And that is going to stick on there. And then I have some starfish. I might put one of these in the centre actually of the bow. That's what I'll use that for. I'm going to put a little gem on the starfish. I'm going to put some on this fabric. I'm not sure how they will stick, but we're going to give it a go. And I'm going to put some on the tulle as well. So wherever you want to put some gems, just pop a little bit of fabric glue. Maybe a couple on this top bit as well. Also, if you've got any stray bits like this, it looks like the layers are coming, like one of the pieces is overlaid. You can just cut it to whatever shape you need it to be. Don't let it look messy. If that's not what you want, you can always shape it to how you want it. So I'm going to use some of these little pearl beads. These are half pearl beads. I'm not sure on the size of these, but these ones are tiny, and then I've got some bigger ones. Try and do it so you can see what I'm doing here. Now these crystals are very much like Swarovski crystals. Very, very good quality, and I haven't got the link for them unfortunately, but I did get them from China with the good old AliExpress app. I'm just going to do a mixture of pearls and rhinestones, just randomly on there. And then you just need to wait for that glue to dry a little. If you think it needs more or less, and put a couple of rhinestones on there. And that looks quite nice. And then this should be nice and secure now. Okay, so I've left this for a few minutes for those rhinestones to dry. They're not completely dry yet, so I do need to be careful still. I've got a 75mm alligator tooth clip here. I'm going to just pop some glue on and stick that on the back of the bow. Give that a little minute to dry. Now I'm not too happy with how this side looks, so I'm just going to trim that bit down. I think it was sticking out a little bit too much. And then I'm just going to trim this edge so it's not so sharp. More of a rounded look. And now the clip is secure on the back. I am going to open it up, put some glue in there, and pop the centre piece in. And then careful around the beads and pearls, and wrap that round. It's hiding all the pieces of loose tulle that were around that centre. Cut it to the size I need. And again, being really careful. Just glue that centerpiece around. And there we have it. A mermaid themed bow in blue. This is Miss Maddie's bow for her 8th birthday. I think that looks really, really pretty. Oh, we need to put the centerpiece on as well. So we're going to use one of these starfish. You can use a rhinestone, you can leave it as it is. This is one of the reasons I've used the glitter for the middle, because I find it sticks better. But we're going to finish this off with one of these little flat back embellishment starfish. I'm just going to pop that in the centre. And there we go, an 8th birthday bow, complete with pearls, starfish, rhinestones, birthday number, tulle. I hope my instruction on how to do the tulle was okay on this one. If you do want a more detailed look at how to put tulle in different ways on bows, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see about making another tutorial about that. But this is one way to add them to the birthday bows. I think it looks really cute, really effective. These have been quite popular. And yeah, if you like it, give the video a thumbs up. I'll put some links to shops where fabrics, Felties are from in the description, and also a link to my secret Facebook group, which is just for you subscribers on my channel. So don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell notification button if you want to be notified every time I upload videos. If you want to request any tutorials, you can do that in the comments section of the videos or in my Facebook group. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you like this. It turned out really, really pretty. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.